The owner of a water park in Kansas has been arrested on charges of second-degree murder after a water slide at the park decapitated a 10-year-old child. This is the best example I can give you of what happens when regulators don't do their job. And so your story about what's getting ready to happen, where there's going to be massive kind of effort to do that. Tell us this story, Farron.
The guy that owned the water park, that ran it, that helped design the things, high school dropout, has no training in engineering whatsoever. He hires this company that has a history of cutting corners. So you've basically got two know-nothings. They want to design this water slide, the biggest in the United States, because they wanted to be featured in this Travel Channel show about extreme water parks. Right. So they rush the construction, they cut every corner. None of them are trained to properly design a water slide. 10-year-old kid goes down it. His head gets stuck in this netting that's on top of him. It cut his head off. A 10-year-old child. Yeah. The family sat and watched their child. It watched his head get cut off. And so, to me, obviously, this could have opened them up, and it will, to massive lawsuits. But to finally see somebody who cut corners.
Well, this lawsuit, my memory is that lawsuit. The lawsuit itself was, I think, settled for about $20 million. I mean, they didn't just sue the water park; they sued other people involved. Right. But the truth is, regulators. This is what regulators do. Regulators go out and they say to the person, "Okay, let's see your design. Are you qualified to make this kind of design? Do you have an engineering degree?" This guy didn't even have a high school diploma.
Right.
So he's out designing these rides that his goal was, I want to be the fastest, I want to be the biggest, I want to be the biggest thrill ride. And you know what? After this happened, you had employees come forward that says, you know, we were talking about this. People came and asked about it, and we said, we've had more problems than just this decapitation with this particular ride. The regulator, that's their responsibility, is to understand, to talk to these employees. But these employees, when you talk to them, there was no regulatory oversight. It was exactly the same kind of problem we're talking about. So this 10-year-old child is decapitated, and business goes on. Somebody's going to probably go to prison here. There's certainly enough to articulate a manslaughter case. So someone's going to go to prison. $20 million is going to be paid out, and these parents have lost their 10-year-old child. And if you really follow the track on this, you go back to the very beginning, this is what regulators are supposed to do.
Well, look where it happened. Kansas.
And
we all know what's happening in Kansas. Brownback destroyed regulatory agencies, destroyed the economy, destroyed everything, gave it all to the corporations and companies. And this is what happens when you get rid of the regulators and you trust companies to do the right thing. They'll never do it.
Well, I mean, we went through this big thing about self-policing, didn't we?
Yeah.
And, Ronald Reagan started saying, and old man Bush, we're going to deregulate everything, and we're going to just trust corporations to self-police. This is a product of self-policing. It goes on every day in America.